At some point today, you'll stop and ask yourself, am I happy? And that question alone will ruin the answer. You search for happiness in the new job, the relationship, the scroll, but the word you're using doesn't mean what you think. Happiness comes from the Latin felix, and felix wasn't a feeling, it was luck. Go deeper. In nearly every Indo-European language, without exception, the word for happiness is tied to chance. Old English, hap, German, Glück, which still means both happiness and luck today. Luck, chance, randomness, not a skill, not a goal, not a life project. Historian Darren McMahon of Dartmouth rebuilt this shift word by word in his book, Happiness: A History. His argument is simple and uncomfortable. For most of Western history, nobody thought happiness was something you earned. It was something that happened to you, or didn't. Sit with that. Before the 17th century, being happy meant standing on the right side of fate. The gods favored you or they didn't. No meditation app for that. No checklist. So what changed? 1776, Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson writes 3 inalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For the first time in a state document, happiness becomes something you have the right to chase. Not luck anymore. Now a project, and the word never recovers. McMahon shows that several American states went further than Jefferson. Their constitutions didn't just promise the pursuit, they promised obtaining it, a right to a result. 200 years later, that project became an industry. Self-help books, positivity courses, purpose coaches. The question that used to be about luck turned into a daily task, one you personally are responsible for completing. And this is exactly where the science creates a problem. University of Denver. Psychologist Iris Mouse publishes a study in the journal Emotion. She wanted to test something simple. What happens to people who place a high value on being happy? First experiment, 2 weeks of diaries. People recording their most stressful day and how lonely they felt. Result, the more people valued happiness, the lonelier they felt on bad days. Not less. More. Mouse didn't stop there. Second experiment, she had one group read an article praising the benefits of happiness, just an article before watching a positive video clip. The group that read it felt less positive emotion afterward than the group that didn't, and more loneliness, measured even through a hormone tied to social isolation. Progesterone. Reading about happiness, expecting it, and feeling less. That's the paradox shown in a lab. Wanting it too much blocks the thing you want. Not weak willpower. The structure of desire turned against itself. But here's the part almost nobody mentions. It's not just that pursuing it backfires. It's that even when you get there, the target moves. Psychologists Philip Brickman and Donald Campbell describe a mechanism that became famous: the hedonic treadmill. You get the raise, the house, the relationship, and pleasure rises. For a while. Then your body adapts, and you're back at the same emotional baseline as before. Not because the achievement didn't count. Because your baseline isn't fixed, it follows you. So what's left to do? Climb one more step. And another. And another. The treadmill doesn't stop. It just asks for more speed. That's why checking the feed before bed is never the last time you check it tonight. That's why New Year, New Me rarely survives past February. Not a lack of discipline. A system built without anyone meaning to, that's designed to never declare victory. Philosopher John Stuart Mill in the 19th century put it in a sentence that still cuts: ask yourself whether you are happy and you cease to be so. Mill didn't have Instagram. He'd already seen the whole mechanism. No one's suggesting you go back to thinking happiness is just luck, full stop. That belief had a massive cost too. People accepting misery, illness, injustice as unchangeable fate because the gods willed it. The idea of pursuing happiness also brought something real. The notion that you can change your life, not just accept it. The problem isn't wanting to be happy. The problem is treating happiness like a trophy you win once and keep forever. It never was that. Not when the word meant luck. Not now that it's an app metric. Maybe the right question was never, how do I get there? Maybe it's, what did I do today without checking whether it made me happy? No stopwatch, no app, no comparison. The word moved from luck to goal in 300 years. Your brain hasn't caught up. It still treats feeling fine as something you notice in passing, not something you measure all day long. So next time the question shows up, am I happy? Maybe the honest answer isn't yes or no. Maybe it's, why am I asking right now?